How do you stop drinking when everybody else was drinking more?
I just was focused, and it sort of became a thing where I was proud of it. And then when 3 a.m. rolls around and like everyone's like, it's time for bed, I feel like my homework's done. I feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and feel good. So there's a lot of, there's moments, of course, where you're like, that warmth in my stomach would be really nice right now. If I could just have a drink and I could get with y'all, it would be amazing. But
it's my second number one.
I mean, you didn't have to do that.
I just wanted to let you know.
You didn't have to do
God's
that.
blessing me right now.
What keeps you going when you think like, man, either somebody's listening, I'm on the radio, I got a deal, people, like, what keeps you going when you think it's going to happen and it doesn't quite happen the way you thought it was going to be?
I think I've been lucky enough that even though it didn't explode how I thought, there was enough gained and my fan base grew and enough happened to say, okay, we're making forward momentum. I was taking tiny steps on the way up. Finally, I got a big step. But those tiny steps are actually a lot of times more valuable. Because if you start with a big step, it's hard to make another one.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is, Mr. Harlow? Just fire or just timing
It's a
or
combo
just
of
a
things.
team?
Yeah, it's timing, there's just good fortune, and there's hard work and a lot of thought and care put into music.
Yeah.
My career had very humble beginnings. Yeah. That's why anytime I see my name associated with anything like industry plant, like it makes me so proud to really be able to say that. I'm like, everyone in the game right now, like one of the furthest from it. Like I didn't skip any steps, bro. Like I did steps none of these kids did. Like, yeah, I talk about it on the records, but I did open mics, I did South by Southwest, I did A3C, I did showcases with no one there. My first tour, I went to Madison, Wisconsin, did a bar with 8 people in it. Like, I felt those feelings of not being the guy at all.
Desperation, yeah.
Bravado on record, but then going out and finding out I'm not the guy. Like, I felt I did this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you said, once you're there and it's bubble, and if people didn't see any of that, they're like, where'd he come from? I never wanted this to be a niche thing or something over on the side where I'm making like underground stuff for a small community to enjoy. I want to make music the world loves and pays attention to and is aware of. So jumping into the fire felt like second nature. I mean, I was nervous and I was going into studios and I was intimidated by other artists because they were just freestyling and I was writing, and I learned a lot though. I mean, Atlanta molded me into the artist I am now. Like just like a lot of my confidence and experience. Like I feel like I come out here to LA and I meet a lot of kids out here that are like famous and they got their thing going on, but like I feel like I went through something different to get where I'm at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just as an artist.
10 years ago, I was uploading videos to Facebook. I was basically just entertaining my classmates, passing out CDs in school. I was printing merch when I was in high school, trying to get that off. So
that's fire.
I was focused.
How was that being received in high school? Were you like the star?
Mixed reviews.
Hate? A little bit of hate?
A little bit. There's been hate. There's been a portion of hate the whole time. But
yeah, I think you have to have passion. I think you have to be a fan. You have to be a fan of the genre and love it. I love the craft. I love chasing, getting better. Coming off and come home, like, of course, there's some frustrations with not feeling understood, but it's also exciting to think, okay, let me see how I can get better. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for people to say you have room to improve. Fuck, okay, let's get after it.
For me, that's why I think as an artist, I've never become a character.
Right.
I've never like played into different personas or this or that because it was so important to me, almost to a level like I may have been overcompensating for a while of just be Jack Harlow. You know what I'm saying? Be as authentic as you can. That's the only way it's gonna work, and speak with conviction and tell the truth. To me, the key has always been, if I tell the truth, I feel like I can win.
I feel like a lot of adulthood is trying to get back to childhood for everybody. Obviously, there's traumas that everyone suffers throughout their childhood, but for the most part, there's just so much nostalgia and there's so much, I can't get that back. That like, I mean, that's why you hear the samples. That's why you hear the grooves. Like everything is trying to get back to, how did I feel when I was 11? That feeling. I feel like we spend our entire adulthood trying to get back to our childhood.
Many times where we put this and that. We put the VIP with the drink. We put we got to celebrate. Give me a drink.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's so much to celebrate.
It stacks up, and then you
Every night too.
and you might not have a problem. You might not feel like you're depending on it, but once you're in the heat of this, every night there's a reason. Every night there's a dinner, and it's like, have a drink, and then there's something after the dinner, and then you did something. People are like, come on, you gotta have a drink. You did this. You know what I'm saying? And then suddenly you look up and you drank every night for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like,
had you
Been exposed to the illusions of what is supposed to make me happy. And I think a lot of people get exposed to, like, this is what you're supposed to do. You buy a house in the hills, we go to the club. And I think I've just got all the illusions out the way, and I'm deciding for myself what makes me happy. And that's what Is That Alright is about. Is that whole song is about. I don't need to be told what to do with my time, money, and platform. I'm just gonna go towards what actually excites me, and I find that my preference is to be here, so I'm gonna be here.
I always tell people it's a double-edged sword because there's pros and cons that come with it. So that's why I've never leaned on the like, see how much harder it is for me?
Right,
because
right.
it's like, because there's so much that serves you with being white. Like just the fact that I am dope, me being white, it's like, it's a novelty because there's fewer of me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I'm a gym. You know what I'm saying? But then there's the side you're talking about. So to me, I've always just said, just cancel each other out.
But you know what I get?
for some reason, I knew from the beginning, or I felt it, or I believed. It made perfect sense to me. It's perfect as it makes to me now.
That's amazing.
It is. It's one of the greatest gifts that the universe gave me, or maybe, the loving family I came from made me feel worth it enough to believe that. I don't know, but I believed it early.
You're like, this is my plan.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
One of the things I've discovered is I love routine. I don't want to escape routine, and being on the road, routine does not exist for the most part for me.
100%.
So
I always got to take care of people.
Yeah.
If anyone's your homie, you should take care of them. That's how I see it.
It's almost like you believe it more when you're a kid because you're not full of your insecurities yet.
Yeah.
Society hasn't taught you how to act all the way yet, so you just think anything's possible. So I think I got lucky because I believed so early that by the time things started to happen, it was too late for all of society because things were working in my favor. And so now I still have some child in me that just believes I can do anything. Like right now I believe I'm capable of anything I really want.